Good morning. It is a beautiful, chilly winter's day and we're outside because the camper van battery has died. No idea why. It's just decided to die. It's plugged into the mains. It should be recharging, but it isn't. Maybe the Sargent unit in there isn't working properly. We've put a charger on there and that doesn't seem to make any difference. It's down to 5 volts. It's absolutely knackered, which means it's time to replace it. As you can see, we are all wrapped up for winter. The trailer was cleaned and wrapped up. We want to get the camper wrapped up as well. So let's start by getting the cover off and taking a look at how we get the battery out. So normally this cover, I am aptly demonstrating here, would be found on there. The battery is in the passenger side on a right hand drive and the driver's side on a left hand drive vehicle. You can see though we've had it off already because we tried to charge and recondition the vehicle, but it was having none of it. It's pretty busy in here. There's a lot of wiring, there's trackers, there's additional wiring for the camper itself. You've got the split charger down there, so we need to make sure that we get all of this out in a sensible way. So let's crack on. So it's a fairly simple job. You really only need a couple of things. You need a Phillips and a flat screwdriver. I'm using a multi-screwdriver set because it was the first one I came to. A 10mm spanner and a 13mm wrench. Get a hefty one. There's a big bolt to undo. So you can see that I have disconnected the battery charger we had on. There's a lot of cables that are coming from conversion and things like that we need to be a little bit careful of. But the first thing we want to do is get this big 13mm bolt out of the way. So crack it on. It's pretty stiff. This is a 1/2 inch socket. Pop that one somewhere safe. This needs just a bit of a tug. I say for us there's a lot of cables here, so we have to be careful how we take it out. We'll pop that safely out of there. Next job we want to do is disconnect the negative power. So again, you know, we've got a split charger down here, there's a lot of cables, but basically that comes off with a simple compression, and we do our best to move it all out of the way. That's battery state, monitor, trackers, loads of things in here. So next job, we need a Phillips. There's 2 screws here. These 2 Phillips screws come out, and this looks like it's going to be an utter nightmare, but trust me, looks are far worse than reality. Let me pop these 2 screws out. Next one, we need a 10mm, and just down here you'll see there is a 10mm bolt for the positive. Lots of turns, and now it should just come off. There we go. Now it is, as you can see, ridiculously messy because of everything is in here. But we can now pull out the battery. So ours is a Citroen, but you can see it was built by Fiat. It has a Fiat battery in it, not unsurprisingly. So yeah, 12 volts, 95 amp hours, 680 amp cranking. The next thing obviously you want to do is make sure that you've got the dimensions. So we've got 35 centimeters by roughly 17 and a half, to be exact, by 18. So now we're going to go and have a look, see what we can find online. So I found a battery that will work. It's about 113 euros. You'll see here it's slightly better cold cranking. The factory battery is 690. It's 800 amps cold cranking, so that's really quite useful. So we'll probably go for that. Oh, so you join us back a couple of days later. Our new battery has turned up this morning. As you can see, the weather is still beautiful. It's very, very cold. Everything was frozen this morning, but the blue sky is lovely for November. Anyhow, let's crack on and get this new battery installed. Definitely well packed. If you remember when we took it out, it was a bit of a mess with all the cables from the conversion. They weren't threaded through particularly neatly. So what I've done is I have basically disconnected pretty much all of the earth cables. Gives us a lot more room to play with. We'll pop the battery in and then we'll connect the earth cables back up again and route them a little bit better than they originally were. Hopefully we can make it a little bit neater, so bear with me, we'll crack on. So the first thing we need to do, you'll notice there's not one here, we need to swap over the little bit that, in case the battery overflows, it leaks out and all the acid doesn't go into the car. That just pulls off of the old battery, slots in here, and in theory we're ready to go. A little bit heavy to move one-handed. So that's in there. There's a little hole that this overflow pipe needs to go into. First of all, we will reconnect up the positive. You'll see under here there's two little holes here. This is how it locates. It's a little bit fiddly. Once that's on, it's just a case, it moves about, of lining it up. There we go. 1 and 2 in. And that's on and holding tight. Next thing we need to do is get some pressure on that clamp. There we go, that's lovely and tight. That is not going anywhere. Next job, we have these two Phillips screws to put back in, which expand those little plugs into the holes and make sure this stays well attached to the battery. There's one. There's the second one in. So let's take a look at this rat's nest now. I think the first thing we'll do before we put any of these cables back is to put back the mounting pillar. To be fair, it's a little bit fiddly and you need to make sure you get it the right way. That's better. That goes that way and it clips in and it's now level. This goes goes on the top, and there's a 13mm nut that holds it all in place. Let's just get that squeaked up. There we go. That's all in and not going anywhere. Right, so let's take a look at what we have here. There we go. So that's negative reconnected now. We've got life. Everything's good. It's never easy, is it? So the eagle-eyed of you will probably notice once we'd reconnected the battery we had a check engine light, which is a little bit worrying. Let's take a look and see what the problem is. So to get to the ODB2 port on the Peugeot and Citroen and Fiat vans, we have to wibble this cover off here, and once you've undone it, cover just pops off, and down here, if I can get the cover off of this one, we'll find the ODB2 port. Let's plug the Autel in and see what we get. So the great thing about the Autel is it will auto scan, so it's worked out that this is a Citroen. It's read the VIN number. If you don't have a VIN, if it doesn't pick it up, you can come down here and get the VIN number from there. So let's have a look and see what is telling us. But we've got faults on built-in systems interface, engine ECU, ABS, ESP. I'm pretty certain that all of these faults are due to the fact that the battery has been disconnected. As you can see, it's running, it's just done the AdBlue, that's all good. So yeah, we'll let it run and see what ones we get. Finished the scan. I'm not sure whether you can see here. So we've got a built-in systems interface, whatever the heck that is, engine, ABS and radio. So all of those are pretty much guaranteed to be the fact that the battery went flat. So we'll clear those faults and we'll take another look. We've cleared the faults, look at that. It's all come back past, no faults at all. So yeah, all due to the battery being a little bit knackered. So now all we need to do is set the time correct, but let's just start it and make sure that engine light goes out. And there we go, engine light's gone, no issues. We just need to set the clock. Okay, so now all we need to do, I've set the time, we just need to go in and set the date. Clock and date, set date, and today, oops, let's press the right one, is the 11th of November 2024. Hit done, hit back, radio, it's on mute, and take a look, and there we go. See the date's all good, last start, engine lights out, we're all set and good to go. Thanks for watching. As ever, like and subscribe, really helps us keep the channel going, costs you nothing, so thank you very much. Thumbs up, like, subscribe. Cheers guys.